Ready? Start. This appeal inter alia impugns the order of the learned single judge passed on 28 February 2003 dismissing IA number 116 of 2002 in suit number 604 of 2000 stop. This appellant in that application had prayed that the copies of the plaint and other documents were not supplied to the defendants and time to file application for leave to defend be extended. Stop. Mr. Kataria, learned counsel, appearing for the appellant, has contended that nowhere on record has it been mentioned that copies of the plaint and documents have been supplied to the appellant and therefore there was non-compliance of Rule 3 or Order 37 of the CPC. Stop. In a suit to which this order applies, the plaintiff shall together with the summons under Rule 2 serve on the defendant a copy of the plaint and annexure thereto, and the defendant may at any time within 10 days of such service enter an appearance either in person or by pleader, and in either case he shall file in court an address for service of notices on him. Stop. On the basis of aforesaid, Mr. Kataria has contended that it was mandatory on the part of the respondent to have served on the appellant a copy of the plaint and annexure thereto, and as from the record, it is apparent that the plaint and annexure were not supplied to the appellant. The mandatory provision of rule was not complied with, and therefore the period of file application for leave to defendant application cannot be counted from the date. Stop. Para. On the other hand, learned counsel for the respondent has contended that the appellant had put in appearance but did not raise the issue of non-supply of the copies of plaint and annexure in any of the proceedings after 24th April 2002. Stop. In the said order, the learned single judge has recorded that the defendants have moved the application for supply of the copies of the documents which are not annexed with the summons of the suit, although he has entered appearance as a matter of precaution. Stop. On the date, the learned single judge directed that copies of the documents be furnished within 1 week. Stop. The latter part of the order is important, which reads as follows. Stop. However, this would not be treated as an excuse for late filing of the leave to defend application in case the summons for judgment are served on the defendant. Stop. Para. On the basis of the aforesaid, it was contended by Mr. Chavda, learned counsel, appearing for the respondent, that once the appellant has entered into appearance and summons for judgment in appropriate form was served upon him, the court has no power to extend the time to file application for leave to defend. Stop. We have given our careful consideration to the arguments advanced by the learned counsel for both the parties. Stop. The sought controversy is with regard to whether compliance of Rule 3 Order 37 CPC was done by the respondent or not. Stop. As observed earlier, when the appellant appeared on 24th April 2002, he had moved an application that the copies of the plaint and documents had not been supplied to him, and he was entering appearance as a matter of abundant caution. Stop. If a person who has taken such an abundant precaution to appear in the suit and has filed an application for supply of copies of the plaint and documents, it is inconceivable that if the same were not given to him, he would not have made an application or would not have agitated the issue again in the court. Stop. The petitioner tenant has filed the present revision petition aggrieved by the impugned order of the additional rent controller dismissing the application of the petition for leave to defend the eviction petition filed in the proceeding of eviction initiated by the respondent landlord stop. The respondent filed an eviction petition under section 14 bracket 1 of the Delhi Rent Control Act 1958 against the petitioner stop. The respondent's landlord claimed to have let out initially a portion of the first floor of the property, and in 1991 further portion was let out, but both the tenancies were consolidated in 1993 stop. The premises was stated to be let out for residential purposes, and the possession was sought on the basis that the premises were required bona fide by the respondent landlord and there was no other alternative suitable reasonable accommodation available to him stop para. The first plea pleaded raised by learned counsel for the petitioner is that in view of the averment in the affidavit in support of leave to defend application to the effect that the premises were let out for residential cum commercial purposes, the leave ought to disclose facts which, if proved, would disentangle the landlord from recovering the possession stop. But as per the ruling of the Supreme Court, the stage of deciding the leave to contest the application was a stage of judging the plausibility of defense, and the stage of proof was later stop. The plea of the petitioner has thus to be considered within the aforesaid parameters stop. There is no doubt that there is an averment in the application for leave to defend that the premises were being used for commercial activity, but admittedly rent receipts issued from 1993 onwards clearly specify the purpose of letting as residential stop. Before that, the purpose of letting was not at all mentioned stop. In fact, it is not disputed that the tenanted building is meant for residential purposes and has even been assessed to property tax as such stop. In view all of these facts, the additional rent controller found the purpose of letting to be residential stop para. In my considered view, this finding of the additional rent controller does not require to be interfered with stop. No doubt, the stage for the test substantial defense had not arisen, but there has to be at least a plausibility of defense stop. Otherwise, in every eviction petition, the mere averment that the premises were let out for residential cum commercial use would automatically give rise to an order for leave to contest the petition stop. This is not what is the law laid down by the Supreme Court stop. The title to the property has also been set out by the respondent, which is through a registered document stop. It is not for the petitioner to challenge the gift made in favor of the respondent, especially in view of the observations made in the case of Rameshwar Narayan versus Sarla Saran, wherein it was held that the word owner in section 14 bracket 1 of the act is not used in the sense of an absolute owner stop para. It is only used in contradiction with a landlord as defined, who is not an owner but who holds the property for the benefit of another person stop. Learned senior counsel for the petitioner vehemently contends that there are in fact two tenancies in favor of the petitioner which commenced on different dates, and on one eviction petition in respect of two tenancies is not maintainable stop. This objection by the petitioner was replied to by the respondent, stating that these tenancies stood consolidated with mutual consent. During these 7 years, there was not even a murmur of protest by the petitioner about one rent receipt being issued stop.